What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Carolina Boys Sportscast. It's your host, Sea Dog, bringing you some hot takes and some college football. To start off, we had the NFL draft in over the past weekend, and the biggest breakdowns, you know, what was the LA Rams thinking when they drafted Ty Simpson from Alabama? Don't get me wrong, he's a good quarterback, but are the Rams seeing something we're not seeing? With Matthew Stafford leaving, probably in the next couple of years, it's going to be up to Stetson Bennett and Ty Simpson to battle it out to get QB1. But was Ty Simpson the man for the position? We don't know. He played good at Alabama when he came in and started. His last season, he ended up with some injuries and didn't really play as well. Also, SEC championship to Georgia Bulldogs, my dogs. Um, Still went to the playoffs. Unfortunately, lost the playoffs. But we're all sitting there thinking, was that a good choice or was that a bad choice for the LA Rams? Again, who am I to judge? Who are we to judge? Because we don't know what the Rams are seeing that we're not seeing, or they're not telling anybody. But my take, I don't see him beating Stetson Bennett for the job as QB1 or QB2. And then you have Carson Beck, which landed a spot in Arizona Cardinals. He's going to be replacing Kyler Murray. But is Arizona building a powerhouse? With picking up Carson Beck and Jeremiah Love. We'll just have to see when the season starts. Carson Beck, he played pretty good when he was at Georgia. Even though he sat behind Stetson Bennett, he finished leading the Bulldogs to two national championships after Stetson Bennett sat out. Fortunately, during the SEC championship versus Texas, he got injured. And they thought, he was done playing football or he was going to go to the draft, and he ended up going to the Miami Hurricanes for his final year. He balled out, was playing a talented quarterback, led the Miami Hurricanes to a national championship, but came up short to Indiana. But will he last? Same goes with Ty Simpson. Is this just a high-end pickup, or is it a bridge for the quarterbacks? Or is it a right choice? We won't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But Ty Simpson, he's going to have a high hill to climb going to the Rams because they got talented players, and they got the QB rooms. QB room is talented as well. So, will he be ready, or will he sit out a year and kind of learn? We won't know. Same thing goes with Carson Beck. Will Carson get the starting job, or is he eventually going to sit and learn, or at that point, just go somewhere else if he's not getting a starting role, which we won't know. The same goes with Diego Pavia. Diego Pavia went undrafted, but finally was invited to the Ravens for minicamp, and I believe he got signed. So we'll see if he's going to be able to handle all that and sit behind Lamar Jackson, or if he's going to go out there and battle and then take QB2 until something happens and he has to take QB1. But was the Ravens a good fit for him? I don't know. Same way with my Bulldogs. Our wide receiver, Zachariah Branch, he went to the Falcons. It was a good pick. The Falcons needed a good wide receiver, and they finally got a good wide receiver. Not bashing any other ones, but the wide receiver room is going to be good. They got Cash Jones as a running back. Cash Jones is good for third downs, third down plays. So they got a good room in the running back room. Now they're just going to have to get a good quarterback that can get on the rhythm with the two players. Unfortunately, they drafted, or well, they didn't draft, they traded and got Tua from the Miami Dolphins. So we'll see how that goes. But, with the Cards coming in, when NFL preseason starts, we'll see how they'll actually get to perform and then eventually battle it out. Is Ty Simpson going to be able to handle the pressure and handle the battle between him and Stetson Bennett? Same thing goes with Carson Beck. But the bottom line is who's going to be what, and are they ready to perform in the NFL? Again, this is Carolina Boys coming to you live. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio. If you want to hear more crazy takes, like, share, comment. We would love to hear from you. Until then, next episode of Carolina Boys Sportscast.